today to bring you at 3 o'clock the teachings of Paramhansa Yogananda. We're excerpting at 12 o'clock every day and giving you a brief explanation of the excerpt. And today I want to read to you about a disciple who was digging a cesspool at the master's desert retreat. He kept on digging all day long without stopping to see how far he had come. That evening, to his amazement, he found that he had dug a deep hole. When Paramhansa Yogananda saw what he had accomplished, he said approvingly, "That is how the devotee must seek God, continually digging, without looking to see how far he has come. Then one day, suddenly, he will find himself there." As Lahiri Mahashaya used to tell his disciples, Banat, ban jai, doing, at last done. Well, that's a highly energetic and great little piece of teaching. That's actually a pretty big piece of teaching, which is not to continually try to measure. You know, in India, they have the term Maya for delusion, and the literal translation means the measurer. The measuring is something that we do in our human consciousness, in our human way of thinking, but it is not the divine way, which is unitive. God is unitive and interconnected. And this sense of I'm measuring this and I'm measuring that and seeing how far I have come and how far I have to go and how far these other people have come and how I compare to them. These are all the ways of the ego and not the ways of the soul. And so the master, Yogananda, he talked about this principle with his disciples, explaining that it's best to just give something our all, give something the highest energy that we possibly can, and then not be concerned about where we land and how it relates to anything else. God forbid that we judge ourselves as to how far we've come spiritually. The pride always comes before the fall. Measuring where we've come spiritually compared to maybe where we had been or where another person is, worse yet. These are the ways of the ego, not the ways of the soul. And so in another context, he also, Yogananda gave the example of the devotee who plants a seed and then wonders if that seed is growing, if it's sprouting under the earth because he can't see it yet. And so he digs it up the next day just to see where it is in its growth. And he does that, then he covers it up, and he does that again and again and again. And within a short time, that poor little seed is exposed to so much sun and air and weather that it dies, even though it's been covered up in between. Because that's not how things grow. A good gardener knows that they plant the seed, they plant maybe a number of seeds, and some will sprout and grow and others will not. And so they accept that. They understand that. They wait for it to break out of the soil and show itself of itself. An aspect of not measuring our digging is that, like the Lahiri Mahashai quote, Banat, Banat, Banat Jai, doing, doing until done. It shows itself. The result of what we're doing shows itself naturally. We don't have to go digging for it and looking for it and measuring it. We simply have to keep putting one foot in front of the other on the spiritual path. Yogananda explained that everyone in the world is on the spiritual path because they're on a spiritual path, because everyone is on the journey from the ego dominance in our lives to the soul nature that we are naturally. The kingdom of heaven lies within us. And so we don't have to keep looking for it. We don't have to keep, we don't have to keep measuring where we're at. We are somewhere on that journey. All we have to do is keep putting one foot in front of the other on that journey and keep turning toward the light, the inner light right here at the spiritual eye, the point between the eyebrows. So that is the meaning of his statements this morning. And joy to you. We'll see you again tomorrow. It's a lovely, lovely, gorgeous day on Ananda at Kameno Island. And tomorrow we'll be broadcasting from the Ananda community in Linwood. Blessings to you, and we'll see you again.